Hello everyone, welcome to SAP Technomaniac. In this video, we are going to discuss media handling in OData. Till now, we have discussed about our normal CARD operation, create, read, update and delete operations. That handles the basic data, like the table data, which we will save in the database with the table data, which is having the character, integer, quantity or currency type. Normal data we can say. But sometimes, apart from this normal data, we have to we need to handle the different kind of data, like we want to save some image or PDF or audio or video, because OData work with most of the time front end tools like the Fury or some other Java, some other front end tool where also we can use that particular OData. So in the front end side, we want to call this, we want to save the images, whatever user upload, or we want to get the images from the backend system and we want to display. For example, sometime we want to display the logo at the website. So we need to get the logo also from the backend database. So to getting that logo and displaying and sending some data back to the backend system, whatever the user upload, that we can do using this media handling. Most important thing is that we can't use here our normal CARD operation to save this data. So this in video we'll see how to handle these medias like audio, video, images or PDFs, Excels, how we can handle this all kind of data and how we can save this data in our database, and whenever it is required we can get back this data from the database and we can display to the user, we can download from the website. Let's get started. I have got the new system, new demo system from the same vendor. So I have created new package G Technomaniac and I have created new one other package that is called Y Technomaniac for my practice. And you will be not able to see here our older project because that system I don't have no more. So we will gonna create the new project. So whenever you, as I discussed in my previous videos also, whenever you get the new system, you have to see the properties of that particular system, what kind of system it is you are working on. That is very important. Based on that, you can use what all are the new things what you can use. So you can see in this system is the HANA database system. We are working with the HANA database and the server is 2022 HANA server, and like that we can see. Apart from that, we can see, we have to see the what is the ABAP netware component. It is there. You can come down here and you can see, like we used to see in GUI system status, same way we have all the components over here. We can see here as well. So let me see the components. So let me come down. I think SAP ABAP. There should be some SAP ABAP component should be there. So you can see SAP cross up. You can see that this component is very important for us, SAP Gateway Foundation. As I told you in my previous video also, whenever we have this component in our system, not only we can create the OData project in SEGW and we can register the OData service in the same system. It can work, this system can work like a embedded system, but it's not necessary to use this system as a embedded system. We can use the system as a central hub deployment option as well, but just we have to create some back other system, our OData service, and we have to register that OData service in the system. Then it will act as a central hub system. If you don't know what is the embedded deployment and what is central hub deployment, I already explained in my previous videos. I will give you the on I button, I will give you the link that you can watch it out. It's very important whenever you start working in any system. So that's about my new system. It's a HANA system. The advantage is that we can use ABAP new syntax. We can use in the ECC also ABAP new syntax, but that system was a little bit older, less than 7.3. I was not able to use new syntax as well, but in this system we can use ABAP new syntax also. And not only the ABAP new syntax we will use, we will work with the CDS along with the OData. CDS I have already created the separate series, but in this continuation of the OData series, we will learn the CDS along with the OData with the SADL framework. We will going to learn in upcoming video. Let's focus on this video. I don't want to go in that discussion further. So what we can do, we have to do the media handling. First important, when the user want to create some or upload some data from the front end, and he will send, obviously he will not send in the JPG format, he will send, it will converted value will be in the binary format. That binary format sent by the user, and we have to store that information in our tables. So ultimately we have to store that data, image format data, which will be converted into the binary format, and that data we have to store in our backend system. To store that data, we have to create one table. I have already created the table. You can also create, because table creation is not a big thing. So I have created this G media RAM table. If you see this table, the most important table, what these three main fields will be needed. If you want to add some more fields as per your requirement, you can add those fields as per your requirement. Okay. So first field is the client field. Second is the file name. File name will indicate what is the file name which is sent by the front end guy, and value will be having the value of that binary string. So you can see that is the reason I declared is a X string, and it will be having it can have the string values. So that is the reason. And third is the MIME type. What type of document you have uploaded? You have uploaded the PDF, or you have uploaded the JPG image, or you have uploaded some other audio or video. That MIME type is the third field. Apart from that, if you want to add when they have uploaded, you can add date and type, or some other fields if it is required based on your requirement, that also you can add. So since we are working in Eclipse, I just want to show you, if you want to open any object which is showing in the Eclipse in the GUI, so what you have to do, you have to click on open with SAP GUI. The same object will be opened in the SAP GUI. If you are comfortable with the GUI, you can see the same table in the GUI as well. This is row string. This data type should be the row string. Then only it will get the binary input from the front end. Let's open our first project. So we are gonna create our first project. You have to click on SEGW T code. Obviously, as of now, we are creating all the project in SEGW, and you have to click on create. Since we are doing the object, so I will use G Media as a my project name, and I can give the description media handling, like that I can give. So there will be sorter name, and you can see the more options over here because it's a newer version. We can create the OData 4.0 service also, but we should not create in SEGW OData 4.0 services. And this all things we have already discussed in my previous video. We have to give the package. I will give G Technomaniac package, and we can click on continue button or enter button. It will create the Z Media project. As soon as you created the project, obviously you have to create the entity types which will be storing those data. An entity type we have to create with reference to that table. Which table? Which I just now I have shown you that table. Let me move this little bit here. So this table G Media RAM, I can copy it out. I can go to the SAP GUI. You have to right click on your data model and create. We have to import, not create, import from DDIC structure. So we have already DDIC structure or table ready. We can import all the fields from there, and you can give the name of your entity type. You can see we are going to create entity type, and because we will be needing the key field, that is very important. And if you don't need key field, you can create the complex type as well. But in this case, we need to create for media handling, we have to create the entity type, and we have to give the ABAP structure, the ABAP structure name. And one more advantage over here, if I can decrease this one little bit, I can decrease. I will try to do, but I'm not getting this option to decrease it out. Not an issue. So it will create the by default create a default entity set. It will create. Not only it will create the media, and the entity set will be created along with the entity type. It is very advantage. Again, we are using the new system. Click on the next button, and you can select all the fields, and you, whichever the field you don't want to select, you can exclude here itself, because client I don't want to display in the front end guide. They don't need to know what is client or what. They just have to send the file name, value and mime tab, and that will be enough for us. So that is the reason I have removed the client, and we have to handle explicitly client in the backend side. And this again, one more advantage, we were not able to deselect the fields in the my older version. You can select here itself, and you can click on the next button. Once you have done, you have to, since it is the entity type you have created, you have to create at least one field as a key. In this case, file name I will create as a key field, because I want with one file name I can save only one data. That is the reason. So you can again click on the finish button, and our object got created. Means our project got created, our entity type got created. You can see, go further and see, it is a T2G Media Ram project. Our properties, you can see, if you click on properties button, three properties are there. One is the string, binary and string, and apart from that we have one entity set, media set is also there, that also we have created. Let me generate runtime objects. You can click on that, generate runtime objects, and you can save that all the object in one of the project. You can see automatically the ZCL media MPC extension, MPC, DPC extension and DPC classes will be generated along with the model, technical model and service name. You can click on enter button, and you have to give the package again, and you can save your data in that package. That's it. It will be all the classes, MPC extension, DPC extension classes will be generated. So once it got generated, let me register this service. So this time we will do little bit different way. You can click on this service maintenance. Since we are working in the working as an embedded system, if you are working along with the central hub system, you have different, and your backend system is different, then you have to go to your hub system, and there you have to register. But in this case, I'm using the system as a hub system as well, or central and the backend system as well. I want to register my service here itself, so I can click this particular service maintenance, and I can register the service from here also. If you are doing this thing in different system, you have to go to /IWFND/ ment underscore service decode to do that. But no need to go there. I can do F4 over here. Okay, let me remove this system ID. Let me click on enter. I have one local gateway, local system alias name I can use. This alias name, you can go to the SPRO, and you can see that again I have shown you how to see this alias name and all in my previous video, that you can watch out. I will be registering this service. This is the service name, this is the model name, and we have to assign again some package and click on the enter button. And you can save this SAP Technomaniac OData in TR. As soon as you have registered this service, what you have to do, we can go and see, at least see the metadata of this particular service, how it look like. You have to click on these all are the things we have already performed in my previous video. Just you can say as a revision, or you can, if you are feeling like that video is slow, you can watch this video in the second to, you can increase the speed of video and watch. I usually do like this. Okay, and we came here, and now if you want to see this particular service, you can see we have only one entity set, that is called media set. And if you want to see the metadata, again, one more advantage, you are working in newer system, you can get the entity set from here, all the entity set from this button, and you can get all the URI options from here. And I want to get the metadata, or you can just put forward service name / metadata. It will give you the metadata of that particular service. I got the service. I want to see response in browser. You can click here. It will open this particular browser. Or one more thing, you can follow me if you have any doubt. You can follow me on the LinkedIn, and you can ask via message or something. That's it. This is my profile, ramnivas04. You can search, or you can search ramnivas SAP Technomaniac, then also you will find. Okay, and this one we have the metadata. Let me close it out. This is not required, both the things. and you can see this one. This is our entity type, which is called file name. And again, the one more important, this is the basic which we have already. Entity type is media. We have different fields. File name is a key field, and other fields are MIME type and value fields are there. We have created one entity set as a media set. You can see this is very easy. Let me go to the, now till now we didn't do anything else. We created the simple entity type. Now I want to convert this entity type like that so it can handle the media things. Till now it will work like a normal card operation. If I want to save the normal data, table data, then we can use this entity. But I want to handle using this entity, not the simple data. I want to handle the media. To do that thing, first and most important thing, here and onwards, our media handling thing will start. What you have to do, you have to go to your entity type, double click on that entity type. Something, this flag called media is there. We have to select this flag. As soon as you select this flag and regenerate your all the runtime artifacts, and what will happen, we will be having one extra field in our metadata that I want to show you. Let me re-execute this one, and again let me open this response in browser. This time you can see there is has stream equal to true. This particular value will indicate this particular entity type can handle any media. So how the front end guy get to know this particular entity is able to handle, entity set is able to handle the media or not? He will come and see, has stream equal to true? Yes, this particular entity type is capable to handle the media things. Then only he will use this entity type as a media handling. So that's the first important thing. Second thing, which we saw previously, not only we want to read the data, we want to do a lot of other things with our media set. You have to come to entity type. You have to click on creatable, updatable, and deletable. You can create the data, you can update the data, or you can delete the data, delete any image or audio or video, whatever you want to do, you can do from here. As of now, if you open this one, this particular client data, you can see as of now all the fields you can see creatable equal to false, updatable equal to false, and sortable equal to false, or filterable equal to false. But I want to create and update this particular fields also apart from reading the data. So that is the reason, as soon as I make those things true here, as soon as I make those things true here and regenerate my runtime artifacts, and I will execute again our SEGWT code, and let me execute, and I will see the response in browser again. It is visible. You can see, one second, creatable false and updatable is false. It's metadata not updated. Let me one more time regenerate my runtime artifacts. Let me go to here. Let me execute one more time. Let me see. Still it is not there. Let me close it this session, and let me again open from here SAP Gateway Client and get my metadata. Sometime from the backend there is a, you can say, what we can say, it's stored as a buffer, so it will not update frequently. So that is the reason we are not able to see sortable, filterable, but updatable equal to false, and creatable equal to false. Property names. Let me go to the property names. I think so. This is all about the. I think this is all about the entire entity media set. But if you want to check the file name property, you can see you have to select this also. If you want to modify individual fields, then only it will go. And not only this, I think previously we were having those, I think in this one we can see in the entity set name also we were having the creatable and updatable false. Now in the entity set we don't have the creatable. This was the older execution. We were having the creatable, updatable was false. Now we will not able to see the creatable, updatable false, means we can create this entity set and we can update this entity set, or if you want to set this flag at the field level, that also you want to do, that you can do it. Once you will do here and regenerate your runtime artifacts, and if you see the metadata again, it will be reflected in the metadata. That's very important. In older system, somehow I was not able to see. That is the reason I am showing you those things again, because in the older system, this is not, is this SEGW is not much efficient. Here I can see it's a very efficient. So if you re-execute again, and now we can't see those things, creatable equal to false or updatable equal to false. You can create and you can update each and individual property as well. So this will give just the informations. This can be creatable or not, deletable or not. This will give just the information to the front end developer. Based on this metadata, he will do his coding, the front end developer. So this metadata file is reading the metadata file, and making this metadata file is very important for us. The first thing we already saw, that we have to set that particular entity type field as a media type. That is okay. The second step, when we are doing the media handling, we have to go to the DPC, not MPC extension class. You already know, whenever we generate the runtime artifacts, it will generate MPC, DPC, and DPC MPC extension class. So let me get the, as of now I can't see all the data, all the classes which have generated. If you want to refresh, either you have to refresh or you have to click on the load full content. It will load the entire data. Now you can see the extra object which recently we have created. We have created this G media project, and second thing, we have created this 4 classes. So that is the reason you are able to see DPC, DPC extension, MPC, and MPC extension class. So DPC means data provider class, and MPC means model provider class. So whatever we did in the SEGWT code, which we created this our project, that all the things will be reflected in our MPC class. If you go to the MPC class, you can see they have created one type, G media type is there. There is one method is there, define method. These all the things I have explained in my previous video. If you want to see that in the CARD operation video, that you can go and watch out that video. In the define, the main thing they have, we can see in the define, we have defined, here we can see multiple things, whatever we have defined. So in this case, we have defined the media entity. You can see the defined media entity. This entity type as a media, and one more important, due to we set this flag as a media, that is the reason we can see set is media equal to X. Now this particular entity type, it work as a X. Apart from this, other things are normal. If it is updatable equal to true, creatable equal to true, other thing is a sortable equal to true. I don't want to sort, so it should be false. You can go and deselect and regenerate your runtime artifacts, and based on that, this MPC class will be updated. So we should not write any direct code in the MPC class. We have to do everything in SEGW, that will be reflected automatically once you generate the runtime objects. So we have file name field, we have value field, and we have MIME type field. These are the 3 fields. The most important, the second step, apart from this is the first step, media we have to select. When we working, the second step should be like that. You have to go, what you have to do, you have the different properties. You can see file name, value, and MIME type. Now I have to tell the system that this MIME type is a content type field. It will give the what is the content in this particular field. Currently, if you go to the MPC class, if it is acting as a normal field. But I want to tell the system this MIME type will be having the content type. So for doing that thing, what you have to do, you have to go to the MPC extension class, and you have to extend this class. This is MPC is the, if you go to the MPC extension class, this is the it is having the super class as a MPC class. So what all are the functionalities available in MPC class? Apart from that, we can add here additional functionalities. So as of now, you can see, if you see the define method over here, or so it is declared in the public section. So we have to redefine this define method, and we have to add some our additional functionality. To doing this, we have to go to the public section, and we have to write the methods, and we have to redefine this particular define method. I think the system goes slow a little bit over here. Let it get it locked. So what we are going to do here, we will be redefining the define method. So you have to write the methods, and you have to write your which method you want to define. You can write that method name, and you just have to write redefinition, and that's it. You can do control 1 and add implementation for the define method. So it will add automatically implementation. You can do in SE24 also, but we are working in HANA. I will always recommend you to use the Eclipse. Even you are working in ECC, just use the Eclipse. It's working with classes very easy. What I feel internally. So what most important thing, not only I want to redefine this method, I want to execute the superclass define method. That existing functionality which is in the define method, if you see, in the define method, if you see, it have all the entity type, define media type, and then this already defined does all the fields name, data, all the entity types and entity set, everything it got already defined here. I don't want to lose these all the things when I'm redefining the define method. So that is the reason I will call my from the superclass my define method inside this. What it will do, it will, as soon as I call this method, not only this define method will execute inside this. Since we are calling the superclass method, what all are the functionality available in the superclass method, those will be executed first, and on top of that I want to write my own code. One more, this is the first step, and second step is we have to get the model. So there is one attribute called model attribute. If you see here, this is the model attribute. Using this model attribute, we can create any entity type, we can redefine the entity type, we can update or delete entity type and entity sets. The same model attribute we have to use. If you see this model attribute coming from the superclass, supermost class, and they are using throughout the subclasses. So we also use this particular model attribute over here. And what I want to do, I want to get the first my media entity type, get entity type, and the entity type name is the media. And not only I want to get the entity type, what I want to get field name, get property. I want to get this particular property, which is the property mime type property, and I want to set as a content type this particular property name. So what you have to do, get control space property, single property I want to get, that is the reason. And you have to give the property name over here. You can come here and you can copy from here, or you can go to your MPC class, and you have already mime property name is this mime type. Control C, you can copy over here and you can paste here, control V. Once we go to the property type, I want to set as this property as a content type. So what you can do whenever you are working with the chain of the series, you can click on enter button over here, and this will call like this, and again you can click on enter, and I want to set this property as a content type. You can see set as a content type. So this is the one line code we can do. You have to implement try catch block. Obviously I'm not doing here how to do, I already shown you last video, so you can try it out. So sometime some other developer, what they will do, they just get the exporting parameter from here, then again they call get using that variable using the get property method, then again they will store somewhere, and then again they code the content type. But why we have to declare the explicitly variable? We can do all the things in the chain like this. This is the very efficient one line code we can do, and it's a pretty understandable also. First we are getting the entity type, from the entity type we are getting the property, and property I'm setting as a content type. So let me activate this, control F3. We will go to the next step. Now we want to upload some data from the front end, and I want to save the data in the database in this particular table which we have created. For doing that, some of the important steps we have to follow. This is the service name, and we have to add here our entity set name, media set. We can see the entity set name from here as well. From the metadata file, if you want to see, the entity set is a media set. You can copy and you can paste, and another option is that you can get entity set and you can select this one. It will get the entity set name from this one. I want to create the data. For creating which method we use, we already know we will use the post method. And what you want to create? I want to create one image file. First, we will start with the image file. So I want to upload one image file. What you have to do? You have to click on the add file button where we can add our payload in this particular T code. We have to click on the add file and you can select any image, or if you want to select something else, that also you can select. As of now, I want to just select any image. I took the screenshot and I will click on open button. This image will be uploaded as a payload. Like we are creating some data in the system, then we are going to send some data. Instead of sending some data, I want to send this image as a payload. So once you click on the upload button, that particular image will be uploaded as a content here. It's taking time. Let it take time. And as soon as it will upload here, the second step what we have to do, we have to add one extra variable in our header, HTTP request header. So this, you can see the image is having the binary format. No need to touch anything over here. You have to add one more thing. Automatically you can see content type added is a image PNG. The second thing what we have to do, we have to add one additional header, that is the slug variable, that is called the slug variable. So this slug variable, we have to pass the file name. What file? File 1 I can pass. File name is a file 1. This slug variable will be implicated in our method, and we can get this variable name and we can use this as to update the table. So that's very important. First, we have to upload our image, and the content type is automatically updated since we have updated as a image. So it took from the extension and it is PNG image. And second is the slug variable. You click on the enter button. This, and you have to select the post method and you have to give the media set name and you have to execute this one. You can see the one of the method, they are telling that create stream method is not implemented. It's not saying that get entity set method is not implemented because this is media. So media will be not handled by normal CARD methods. It is having their own method. So to create the data in the system, we have to implement this create stream method. So that is the reason I want to show you first which method if we need to implement, that we have to see, that then we have to execute. Then we will see we got some 500 error, that is a server side error, and we have to implement this particular method. Where we will implement all the methods? Obviously data provider class extension. So let's go to the Eclipse again and let's select our DPC extension class. Inside this class, you can see we have the super class. We can go to the supermost class by selecting this. You can see this is our supermost class, and you can, if you click on Control T, you can see entire hierarchy over here. What all are the subclasses over there? You can click on Control T and you can find out like this. And I don't want to see the hierarchy. I just want to see what all are the methods are there. You can click on Control O. It will give you all the methods are available methods. So you can see one of the methods are there. Get stream is there. That again we will see when we get the data. As of now, I want to see the create stream. You can see this is the method I want to see. And if you see this method, one more method, you can search for any method here as well. You can write create underscore s. You can see the create stream method. Once you select this one, I want to re-implement this create stream method in my data provider class extension. So I have to come here, and as you can see, this is declared in public section. How I get to know it is declared in public section? You can do Control T, Control O, sorry, and you can again search it out. It is in green color. So this red colors one is private methods, and the green color ones is the public method. You can see this is the public method. So I will implement in the public section again. So let me go to my public section. As soon as I start editing, it will lock this particular object for me in the backend. So that is, I don't know why this system, it is taking time. It's a new system. Whenever I'm locking a new object, it is taking little bit time. Okay, that is fine for me. Let me copy this method name, Control C, which I want to re-implement. Let me close this one, close this one, close this one, and I have to again write methods, and I want to re-implement this method, and I have to write redefinition, and you can click on the control one and select the aid implementation for this particular method. If you see F2, not F1, if you click on F2 over here, you can see the importing and exporting parameter. Like this is called signature, we call in the SAP GUI. In the signature, we can click on F2 and we can see the signature. Whatever the slug variable we will pass, that will come in the IV underscore slug that we have to use to update our table. And second thing, there is one more variable is media resources there. If you see is media resource type, there is a two fields is there. It will store one is mime type we will get from here, and second is the value we will get from here. The three field we got out of four field. One is the file name, value, and mime type. This all the things only we need from this particular method to update that particular table. So let's update this particular table. So for updating this table, what we will do again inline declaration, and that should be ls underscore media ram, ls underscore media underscore ram. I want to get the data from the front end. So let me create runtime this work area. So value, and this time the type should be always you should take from the MPC class. So TS media is the type. Since in future if you change this media, if you add some field in this media table, or this particular type will automatically get changed, and it will be reflected in the your DPC extension class. So I want to type is this one. Instead of using hash, I want to type explicitly define this TS media, control space. I can see value is there, control space value, first client. I think I have to use this like this, not like this. So type, if you want to use control C, control V, TS media. So now let me do control space. Client is there. Client I have to pass as a SI mandate that we have to handle implicitly. And second field we will pass control space file name. File name we will pass from the slug variable. You can do F2 and copy that IV underscore slug. Control C. And third thing, control space, you have to pass the mime type. That I told you we have another variable that is called the media resource, is media resource, and that you can pass from here, control V, and this will give control space, and this is mime type, and the value will pass again from the same media resource. Control space you can do to get help and get the value. So we in OnGo we created this work area, and this again, if you feel it is little bit more, so you can come down and you can decrease the size. Alt Shift A to select vertically. This will be very useful. These are the shortcuts in Eclipse, and you can create like this. Again, you have to click Alt Shift A. It will remove that vertical selection. Shift F1. So this is the media. Now I want to update this one in my table. Insert, not update, because it's a create. So what I will do, insert this particular work area into my table name G media ram, G media underscore control space you into this one. Shift F1 into table we have to write syntax again. Yeah, what is the issue here? There G media ram is unknown. G media underscore ram. Give me 1 second. I think there is some syntax issue. Let me do F1. If you syntax, we can see here insert database table ABAP SQL, insert into target. Target is Z media. Oh, we have to write okay. Insert, then we have to control X. Target means we have to write this one first, then from this particular work area. I use like the internal table we update. Here we are not updating the internal table, we are updating the database table. One more thing, you can use this new syntax as well. And one important thing, on go also you can prepare here, this one. If you don't want to go here and like this, I just want to show you guys, that is the reason I'm doing. That is one more advantage thing. So what you can do, you can just copy this one, Control C, and what you can do, let me try it out, Control V, like this. No need to create one more work area. Just you insert this particular value. On go you will create this value and insert into the Z media. And you can check the size abasi over here. If Control space Shift F1, Shift F1. If size abasi is initial, then what we have to do? More important thing, whenever we are creating the data in the system, you have to send back that set data in ER entity. Control C. So that for that we have to use the copy data to ref, which you already know from my previous videos. Shift enter, and you have to send this data back. I have to create this time, otherwise I have to write this again. So let it be here, Control Shift greater than, and let it be here ls media, Control C. Okay, Control V. Oh, this is not needed now. ls media, because I need this work area to pass here as well. Control C. I did this one. Now what I can do? You can click on F2 button. You click on ER entity, Control C, and you have to send this data into the ER entity. Shift F1, Control F3, and let me see the data got created in the system or not. Okay, it's taking time. Let it take time. Meanwhile, we will go here and close this one. Come back. I think this also got stuck. Let it do. I think I have to reopen again. Okay. It got locked. I have to go Alt F8 and SM12. It's happening frequently for me. If the system is ideal, I think within 2-3 minutes it is disconnecting. So let me select this object. Let me select all and delete. It will unlock these objects and I can lock it. But working with Eclipse, the advantage here is still my code is there. If I would have written the GUI and my system got disconnected in between, I would have lost this code. So let me Control F3, let me do again. Again, one thing here, I have to call, since it got disconnected, I have to call again /OSEZW. And let me go here again, media resource. Let me go to the SAP Gateway client. I want to get the media set, and this time I want to post, add a file, the same file I will add, and once it is got added, let me put breakpoint also. One more thing, we will show you debugging in this video in the Eclipse itself. So advantage over here, and one more thing I just want to show you, to activate your external debugging, you have to go to your project. You have to click on the properties. Initially, it will be not activated. I did already for my system when I debugged. So you have to come here in the debugging ABAP development and something called debug. Instead, by default, this is selected. You have to select this and you have to give here user ID. It will enable the external debugging for you, because we will be calling from the external. When you are calling from the browser, that time it will create the issue. Then you can see the breakpoint also a little bit different over here. Instead of a single dot, it has some symbol as well on top of that. So that is again one more new thing I just want to give on go the tips and tricks, so it will help you guys. Okay, and this is one thing, and I have added the file. We have to add one more flag, that is slug variable, slug, and the slug variable name will be having file1. I will give again name, and the breakpoint is already there, and the content type is image already there. Let me click on post and let me execute this one. Okay, debugger got triggered. First time whenever you will debugger got triggered, it will ask you want to switch to the debugger perspective. Yes, I want to switch to the debugger perspective. The debugger, if you didn't see the Eclipse debugger, we are showing, I am in this OData course, I'm showing first time, but otherwise when I created the series on the update function module and the SAP LUW and database LUW, that time I shown you this debugger in detail. But still it is good, we have new system now, we can do everything here in the Eclipse, in the debugger, Eclipse debugger. You can see here we are having all the, what we can say, all the methods which is sequentially called, that we can see, all the variables we can see here, and the table relevant data we can see here. If you double click on any field, you can see ls media, this is structure, that is the reason we can see structure values here. Currently the structure is blank, there is no value, but type we can see till now. If I do F5, you can see value got updated, 800 client, file name is file1, and the value, this value is in the string format. And if you double click over here, you can see that value, the value over here also. So you can see, if you want to see the value, complete value, you have to you can double click over here and you can see the entire value over here. So these are the things you have to remember. If I do F5, insert, size bus is 0, that you can see from here again, size bus is 0, and it got successfully. I want to send back this data to the front end system, you have to do F6, and let me do F8. As soon as you do F8, let me see, do we got some error? SAP gateway client, there is some error, I think so. I did some mistake or some content type is wrong. You have to go to this particular T code, IWFND, error log T code, /O, control V, and we can see all the errors over here, whatever the invalid mapping system data type found. There is some invalid mapping is there, it is saying. To fix this error, I paused the video, but what I did exactly, I think I forgot to activate this method, this particular method, and we will move further. So what we were doing, so let me go to our testing tool, and we will pass our media set over here, media set, and we will, instead of get, we will put post, we will add the file, select the file, open it up. That's very important. To post, we have to upload some payload. So this image I want to upload, and apart from this image, you can see content type automatically updated with EMG, image, PNG, and we have to add one additional parameter, that will be the file name, slug, and this time I will add file3, some name I will give, or I can give RAM, something, some other name I can give, and let me click on enter, and let's execute it. Let me see if the breakpoints are there or not in MPC, DPC extension classes. Let me do Control F3 and put the breakpoint again back. Its object is already activated, and this is the code we have written. Let me go there and let me execute again. Let me switch to debug perspective and let me do F6, and we code the data in ls media RAM. If you want to see the data, you can see the values over here. You have to open it up and you have to increase little bit. You can see the client, file name, the stream value, and the format, MIME tab. Let me do F6, copy data to ref, and let me do F8. I think this time it should execute successfully. Oh, voila. So we have executed successfully, and the status code is 201, and you can see we have sent back some data, file name came back, values also came, and MIME type also came. That is that means it got executed successfully. Now I want to read this data back. I have to use get method, and I have to pass the file name. What file I have uploaded? The file name was RAM. So I will pass in comma separated RAM, and again inverted comma. Let me execute first now this one. If I execute like this, this is the way we will get it single entity from the system, normal entity, not the media entity. If I use like this and if I try to execute, you will say it will say media set get entity method is not implemented. but I don't want to execute this method because this is the for the media things. We should not write our code in the get entity, set entity, update entity. We have to use get stream, update stream, create stream. Those are the methods are there. So same way, if you for that, what is the URI that we have to remember whenever we are getting the data. This is the URI. Not only we have to use this entity set name and key field name, you have to use the value dollar value / $value, and then you have to execute. But still we will get the error that get stream method is not implemented. Now we have to implement the get stream method. We have to get the data from the custom table and we have to send back to the front end. So let me do that thing. That's very easy. You can switch between the debugger perspective and ABAP perspective. You can use Control F8, or you can directly click over here and switch. It depends. Again, if you want to do click quicker way, Control F8, Control F8. It will switch between the ABAP perspective and debugger perspective. It's again new shortcut. You have to remember shortcut. When we use, we will work faster. Let me create Control Alt arrow down button to copy any block in our code. We have to select that block and you have to click on Control Alt arrow down button, and that entire block will be copied below. That is, again, I have created one sort on that. You can watch out that short video shorts and you can check it out, and it got created. Now instead of create stream, we have to use get stream. Control space, and we have something called get stream. You can see, shift enter, and I have to do control 1. I have to do create the implementation for this one. As soon as we add the implementation, first we have to see what is the importing and exporting parameter. You can see entity type is there, entity set name is there, everything is there. What we need, that's matter. If I want to read the data from the table, I need the key field first, or I want to show you that also that particular data is successfully updated in the system, that I can show you in Eclipse itself. If you do F8 here, and we created the file with the RAM name. Okay, I think there is something wrong. F8 little bit slow, or we can open in SC16 and also if you want to open. Oh, system got stuck. I think it got disconnected in between. Not an issue. We have to go Alt F8, SM12. There is some issue in backend side. What is the issue? I will pause the video. So we got this file RAM. So you can see the SC16 file result, file 1 and RAM, the type, and it is the value in the binary format, you can see. So now what we were doing in the MPC DPC extension class, now we have to do F2. First we have to get the key field, and I have to pass this key field here, and I have to get these all the values and pass back to the front end or in the browser. So what we can do, let me click on enter. Let me go a little bit down, and first thing we have to read the key values. So always try to, in my initial videos I use IT key tape, but instead of using this, we have to use all the things whatever we are getting from the URI that we have to get from the IO tech request, this object. So always remember that those other things whatever we can see here got absolute entity name, source name, key tape, and navigation path. Those all the things we have to take from IO tech request. Those other things got absolute. So let me take from that how to get. You have to write your object name, control space, get keys, something will be there. You can see, shift enter you can do. It will return you one table. So you have to do the inline declaration data and IT underscore keys. It will return you the key fields which we are entering in our URI here. This key field, it will be returned by here. It can be multiple key fields. If you have multiple, as you know already, we have to pass, if you have file name and some other field, file name equal to this, comma, that field or that field value, other field value, you have to do like this. But in this case, we have only single key field, so you have to get that key value. You can get lv underscore key, and to get for getting this key value, what you have to do, let me click on enter and move a little bit up, and you can get that key field using this it keys and read this table with index 1, I know, and the that value will be the value. Control space you can do, but you will do like this, and if you pass here no key value, then this read statement go for dump. To avoid the dump, you have to pass value operator, and you have to write hash, and you have to make it like this, and you have to make it as optional. If it didn't return any value, this table expression read, then don't give dump, it is optional for me. And once you get the key field, you have to see that if control v is not initial, there is some value is there, then we have to write the our select statement. So select will be very simple. Select single will be there because I want to get the single entry. From where I want to get? From this z media underscore ram. This is very important. And we have to write the select single all z media underscore ram into 8 the rate data. I will do inline declaration again, ls underscore z media underscore ram. Once we did this, we have to pass the where condition, where you can pass the key fields. Control space you will do. I want to pass the file name. And what is the file name? I have this file name. Control C. We are using new syntax. You have to pass @ symbol, and you can pass Control V, LV key. If size bar is initial, I have to create a shortcut for size abasi is equal to initial, because we use multiple time. You can create the template and you can use directly. If size abasi is initial, then shift F1, then what we have to do? We have to pass this values back to this particular ER stream. So we have to form the ER stream. So ER stream, basically here we should not pass the entire data. We have to pass only the content and what is the content type. So those we have to pass from here. If you see here, this one is what is the type of this one? F2 TYS underscore media resource, that we have to remember, no other way. So what you have to do, you have to prepare on go one work area ls underscore control v, that I have given name. This is having two fields only. Control v has not has value, not has control v. This value should be type of this one, and you have two things over here. I think something we did wrong. Data, okay, due to this one, I'm not getting the control space. Then we have to pass two things. One is the MIME type that we will get from this work area. Control C, Control V is MIME type. And second thing, we have to get the value. You can get the value, control space, value we have to pass same as a control space, control V, control space, value. That's it. And once we pass the value, we have to convert this value, copy data to ref. We have to use the function module. That is very important. Shift enter. That's and we have to pass this media resource over here, and we have to get the stream up to this ES stream. Control C and control V. Shift F1, control F3. I think once we pass this data back to the front end system, we were able to see our image back on in the URI. Let me do control F3, and what we will do, we will re-execute the same method over here, get stream method. Execute. Now I have implemented get stream method. I would have debugged, I would have put breakpoint, but let it be. We put breakpoint. Okay. Currently editing. I think it didn't got activated actually. So what I can do, I have to go to SM12, search it out. It got disconnected again. There is little bit problem with the system. I can go Alt F8, SM12, and execute. Select all, delete all. Yes. Go to SEGW. SEGW. Let me open this one. Why I'm opening from here? Because it's easy to navigate from here, from the project directly to the testing part. Again, I want to get data for which entity set. I want to get for this media set. And what is the key field? First, let me activate this one. Then I will do this one that didn't get activated. Control F3. Okay, it got activated now. What I can do, I can pass the media set over here and the value will be the RAM. And let me close it out and get dollar value / dollar value. And let me execute it. I would have put breakpoint. I can see I got the data response in browser. I can see if you open response in browser, it will open up the image, whatever you have uploaded. This image only I have uploaded. So I can see this image back. So this is how you can upload. Let me upload one more image using the post method. This time it will be little bit different. And let me add file. This time this image I will upload. It's a very old image. And I will try to put the breakpoint both the places. Okay, it got uploaded. So important thing, we have whenever we are having the adding the file, we have to add this content type is JPG again this time, and previously it was PNG type. Let me add the slug variable that will be the file name. Thus I will put RAM double time. I will put RAM and RAM1 I will put, that will be good. Okay, and we have to use post method and just we have to use the media set name and let's execute it. The debugger will trigger. I think so. I did something wrong. No. Then debugger should trigger. Okay, it didn't trigger, not an issue, but it is created successfully. I can see and the media set and I got the result back. RAM1 file name is this one and you got this image type properties, the image again, you image or JPG type you have got back. So let me see this one. I didn't have breakpoint here, that is the reason. So let me see the table data at least. I can refresh it out if you have already opened somewhere. Yeah, here it is already opened. Let me refresh it out. I can see the RAM1 entry here. Let me get back this data. For that, I have to use get method. I have to pass the RAM1, my file name. Once I have passed my file name, then I have to pass / dollar value I want to get. That is very important when you are using the URI. Execute again. This time breakpoint will trigger because I have breakpoint. Let me switch to the debugger perspective. I got the key fields out from this one. If you open IT key fields, it will be having all the key fields. In this case, we have only one key field, file name you can see, and RAM1. And I have read this value from this here. And if you see LV key value is RAM1. It is having some value. I got the data from the G media RAM, that also you can see client file name and everything. I have passed this detail to the LS media resource. You can see JPEG and value, and it went to the front end back. I can see the result now. I think so. This time I will be able to see image. You can see I have uploaded image because that was in the PNG format. That is the reason we will be able to see in the code format, but this is not. This is JPG format. So you can see the image itself here. If you want to see response in browser, you can see the response in browser. It will open the default, your system default media opener. So you can see this is the image. It's a very older image. Don't consider, I'm not look like this currently. So it's a starting of my career when I have clicked in Accenture. Okay, that is fine. And that is done. So with create and two things we have done. Before going that, you can switch between the perspectives. As I told you, Control F8 you have to do. I want to go to the ABAP perspective. Let's close this one and go to the DPC extension class. Two things we already done. Create stream and get stream. Now two things remaining. One is the update stream and another one is the delete stream. To understand the update method, we will try to update the same file, ram3 file. If you see response in browser, I want to change this image for this file name. Instead of this image, I want to upload some other image. So let me close it out. And for the changing thing, you already know, for updating anything in the database, we use the put method, and the key field we have to pass which we are changing, and value same URI we have to use which we have used in get. And but now we have to pass the payload, what data you want to change. So I want to pass some image, the Facebook page image I want to pass. Instead of my image, I will put the Facebook page image, and this is again in JPG format. So that is good. No need to pass slug variable because we have the key field already here. We can read the key field from here, and let me try to execute. This is put method, that's it, nothing else. But it will tell us the method update stream is not implemented. That is true. Let's go and implement the update stream. What you can do, Control Alt arrow down to copy this line, and instead of get stream you can use update stream. This is the another method, and you can do Control 1 to do the implementation. It will aid the implementation. Once it will got added, first thing what we have to do, whatever the key field we have passed here, we have to read this one. So for reading the key field, the same logic we will use which we have used in the get stream. Once we use this one, I want to update this key field data. So what I can do, I will create one work area for G Media RAM. So data ls underscore Z media media underscore RAM, and in this I will pass some value Z media, that should be type Z media. Either I can use Z media underscore RAM, or you can use this media type. You should use ideally that only which is having in the MPC class, that is TS underscore media. That will be good because in future if we change, it will be replicated automatically. So we don't need to change everywhere. Control V, TS media type we have to use, and Control Z. The type should be this one, but before that we have to use value keyword, and Control space you can do. In this, what all are the field I have to pass? Client ENT, client equal to sci mandate. I have to use mandt. I think F2 if I do, it's already available. No, let me use this let me use the suffix as well. I took this one from this one, Control C, and or you can use directly type also, there is no issue. TS media. Okay, now next field will be client is the one field, and second field I want to update, Control space, file name which will come from this key field. Instead of doing this, what I can do, I can pass this directly here, Control C, Control V. I think it should work. And third thing is that what we have to do, Control space, MIME type we have to pass, and the MIME type in this F2 we have to do, and is media resource we have to copy, Control C, Control V, and you can do Control space, that is MIME type, and value also again you can pass the same value which we have updated value you will get in this particular variable is media resource, Control space is underscore, Control V you can do, Control V, and the value. I think that's it. This is the value we have to pass. We have to prepare this one. I have extra. This is too much. Let me remove. And the ls media, I have to modify this particular G media underscore RAM, Control C, Control V from ls media, Control C, Control V. Shift F1, Control F3, Control F3. That's it. Control F3, F2. That's it. Once it has got modified, no need to worry, it got updated successfully. That's it. Control F3, and let me re-execute again the same code. So in this case, we no need to write select statement, just we have to read the key field. We have passed the key field, client we have passed, and this updated value we have passed, and we have modified our media RAM. Control F3. Let me go to my code bake again. I think it got disconnected. Let me, it's ideal for 1 or 2 minutes. It will get disconnected. SCZW. Let me open new session instead of waiting for that. GW, open gateway client from here. Yeah, I know it got disconnected. Yes. Get, I want to get this entity set, media set, and I want to pass the RAM3. Dollar value, obviously. And let's execute this one. It will get me the image from my table. Now I want to update this image. Let me put method instead of get. Add a file. FB, I want to update with the FB file. Once it is updated here, let me re-execute my method. Let me put one breakpoint over there. Sorry. Z media RAM, Z media ZCL. Let me put breakpoint. I can see what it is happening. Control F3. And let me come here and execute again. This time I have updated this one. The breakpoint got triggered. Yes, I want to switch. You can do F5. You can see LV key got RAM3. F5, I have created this work area. Let me see all the values filled correctly. 800 RAM3 and image and everything is correctly. Let me modify the data and let me do F8. Once you done F8, let me try to get again the same data from the system. It should get this image. Let's see the response in browser. It worked. So this is how you have. This is again our FB page. I don't frequently post, but whatever the video I upload on my channel, I will give the link there also. If you are more on FB side instead of LinkedIn, you can follow this page. That is again new thing. Okay, and this is done. That's it. And something else we have to do, that is for the put method. And last, now I want to delete something from the system. So for deleting, you have to select the delete and just you have to pass your media set and the field name, and you just have to execute this one. I just want to delete this with this value. It will say no, we have to pass the value, dollar value. Obviously we have to pass the dollar value. Otherwise it will think, it will try to execute delete entity method. But the for media we have to pass the dollar value. There is no other way. So that we have to make sure always, it's very important. Dollar value, and just you execute this one. Now it will call the delete stream method. Now we have to implement this delete stream method. Simple, go there the same way. Control F8, switch to ABAP perspective, Control Alt arrow down button, and delete stream method we will have. Delete and Control 1, add implementation for delete stream. And this time for delete stream we need the obviously key field. So there will be key field will be passed, only the key field we need, and we can write like that: delete from this particular table, Z media table, Z media MPC table. Control C. We can put where condition, where file name, control space you can do, file underscore name, not underscore is not there, file name equal to whatever the key we got from here. Control C, Control V, like that we can do. Let's see, shift F1. There is some error, no error. Or one more thing you can see, you just use this one directly here. Control C, Control V. I think it should work. So, but here we have to pass @ symbol, and like this we have to pass. Because @ for the new syntax, again this is again it will gonna execute on the database. Whatever we are passing inside the @ that means that is the application server variable. It's like just select statement. You can use this one and whatever the value you are passing here, you can check the size of passing and you do whatever you want to. If you want to raise the exception, that also you can do try catch block, and you can raise the exception also. If you have business exception or technical exception, based on that you can raise the exception. Let me do control F3, and let me try to re-execute one more time this delete, and let me put breakpoint over here and execute it. Breakpoint got triggered. Switch to ABAP perspective. Let me do F5. I got the keys. Oh, F7. F7, where I went inside somewhere. Okay, I don't need this statement to execute anyway. Let it execute just to check it is there. I will delete this one. It is not needed for this 86 line. Let me do F6. You can see Saisabasi 0, F8. And if you go and check the table, let me switch to ABAP perspective. And if you go and check the table, oh, I closed. You can see RAM3 is there. Once I refresh it, it gone. So now we have deleted this particular entry from the, and we got the response also 204, means it is executed successfully. Like that, we can delete the data from the system. What I was telling, then we don't need this statement, since we have directly doing this inline using the new syntax. That's it, control F3, and that's how the all four method get, post, put and delete work with the media. We came to the at the last of the video. Just before the closing the video, just quickly revise what we have learned. In the media handling, we can handle the image, audio, video, PDF, zip, Excel sheet and text files. In this video, we only see the image. Instead of uploading image, you can upload the audio and video file also, and we can work with Adobe Form and Smart Form also. That one of them I will show you in upcoming videos. And apart from that, you can upload zip, Excel sheet and text files as well, and it will work the same way how the image is working. There is no other difference. But in the SAP side, how you are storing, that can maybe differ. Instead of table, you can do something else as well. You can store that at the application server on some DMS server, whatever the way you want to do to store those data. That storing part can be differ, but the main core concept remains same when we work with the media. The second important point we have to remember, the MIME type property should be set as a entity content type. That is the very important thing that we have to do in MPC extension class. And apart from this four method we have to remember: create, get, update and delete. These we delete stream. These methods we have to implement in the DPC extension class. And the more important thing, you have to remember the URI, what URI use for the what purpose. To create, obviously you have to use post method, and you have to give the entity set name without key field, and you have to pass your image or data, whatever you have to pass your payload, video, audio, whatever you want to pass. And apart from that, very important thing, you have to pass the slug variable which will contain your file name. When you are working with get stream, no need to worry, just you have to pass the key field and dollar value. That's a very important field when you work with the media, and plus get method. And when you update the data, same field you have to pass the dollar value and put method. And apart from that, since you want to update what data you want to update, that you have to pass in the payload. And delete, same as a get, but instead of using the get method, you have to use the delete method. These are the important points till now whatever we have discussed. Before going to next video, please like this video, share this video with others as well. With that, thank you and happy learning.